I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening and welcome to the City Council meeting, Monday, July 6th, 2020. With that, if we could have roll call, please.
Luther.
Here.
Drexler.
Here.
Sutherland.
Here.
Sweeney.
Here.
Webs.
Here.
Merrill. Silbert.
Here.
Booth.
Here. Here.
Summerfeld. Oh, Ryland. Can you say here?
Here.
Somebody did.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Mr.
Just a administrative thing item. We got somebody on the webinar, their last four numbers on their phone number is 9465. Is that a council member we just don't have identified?
Yes.
Who is it?
Hello? This is Nate.
All right, Nate, we're just gonna change your name on here and then we'll count you present for the meeting.
Yep, I'm gonna try and switch my laptop. It's just dead right now and still charging.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for attending this evening. Go ahead, Mr. Eddie. Okay. No special recognitions this evening. Approval of minutes. If somebody'd like to approve the minutes, now is your chance to do so. Okay, Ryland Erdman, go ahead, please.
Yep, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second to that? Elise Grubbs with a second.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Lee. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, thank you. No public hearings this evening. Under public comments, this is a place where anybody can publicly comment on anything on the agenda for the evening. We request that you stay within 3 minutes or less, and we'll open up public comments at this time.
And just for the public, we're seeing 3 people that are online with us. If you wish to say something in public comments, if the mayor's open that up, if you just raise your hand, I think if you hover, either open your name or near the bottom of your participant panel, you should have a raise hand option. And we'll just wait a minute here to see if you can find that if you want to.
Okay, I don't see anybody raising their hands to speak. Last call for public comments. Okay, I'm going to close public comments and move on to the rest of our meeting. No unfinished business tonight. Under new business, 6A, review of vacant ward number 5 city council position and process to consider replacement applicants, discussion and possible motion of action. I did go into the ward and talk to some individuals. There was a little bit of interest by an individual that I think would be a good person for the position. Other than that, we didn't have any applications come into the mayor's office. And of course, that area is a little bit sparse this time of the year. And also some of the individuals said that they were not available because they would go south for the winter and wouldn't be available for regular meetings. So at this time, I guess we do not have any applicants for this position. I guess we can look at it at a further date if we'd like to, or we can leave the position open and fill it in the spring election. And if anybody would like to advise on that, we could do so. I'll open the floor just for a second and then we'll go from there. Mary, go ahead, please.
Spring election is kind of a long ways away. I feel like that ward needs to have some representation. What about if we were to advertise it in the paper and see what we get?
We did. We advertised it in the paper and other ways. And,
Oh, we did? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yep, I met with a couple of individuals. There's some really good people in that ward, but it's a time commitment and otherwise. So, you know, it's not always something that people take lightly.
Yeah.
I think that it is what it is. Go ahead, Lee.
back a few years ago, we talked seriously about changing from ward election to at large. And also included back then was maybe reducing the number of council people. And I'm wondering if this is a time to go back, at least look at at large election. The a lot of communities do that. I think it makes some sense. It gives an opportunity if for more of the public who is interested to put their hat in the ring. And some of us have been in there a long time, and I think until we decide not to run anymore, probably nobody's going to run after us. And if it's at large, I think it might be a thing to consider. So, Ward 5 has been a problem child forever, keeping a position full, and I think maybe this is a good time to take a look at this and see if we might want to look at changing our method of election.
Okay, Lee, maybe we can talk about that here at the administration level and at staff. I know we probably take it under advisement of the attorney. I know in conjunction with the county, the way they run their elections and other things. I know we talked about this before. So let's just, we'll take that under an advisement, and if anybody else has anything else to add to it, go ahead, Rylan.
Can we keep this open to see if anybody else comes forward, since, as time goes on, who knows what, if somebody springs to mind, since there was the assumption that if it was advertised in the paper and so on, that somebody might come forward.
Okay, yeah, it has been advertised. We continue the advertisement and just kind of keep it an open space for somebody if they come forward. I know that I did comb the neighborhood a little bit and talk to some individuals. There's a couple of individuals that would consider it, but I think their kind of timing is maybe with their family and other things that they've got going on may not be the best. But we can do that, Rylan. We can keep the advertising open and keep moving it from there. So anything else? Otherwise, we're going to keep moving. Okay, let's keep going on to the rest of our business. 6B, special events request from downtown Menomonie in court for Ladies Night Out, Rally in the Alley, and Wine Walk to be held in July and August. Discussion and possible motion approving each event. Go ahead, Nate.
Am I muted?
No, I can hear you.
Oh, great. Yeah, I think that would be a great event as well, just something for downtown Menomonie and overall the economy. I think it's possible we should make sure that we just enforce social distance laws and the use of masks during these types of events. Just because there's been a lot about masks, so I think if the council, has some literature in there that designated the use of masks and social distancing.
Okay. Okay, I got most of what you said. You're breaking up a little bit. Would you like to make that in the form of a motion, Nate?
I would, yes. I would like to make a motion to approve the special event request from downtown Menomonie, subject to the enforcement use of face coverings and social distancing.
I'm going to turn that over to Ben. Hold on.
Nate, I would recommend for the motion the encouragement, but not make it a mandatory, as we're encouraging.
Okay, well then, yes, then I would like to edit my motion to encourage the use of face coverings and social distancing.
Okay, so you're making the motion to allow these events to happen with the endorsement recommendation of face masks and as much social distancing as possible. Rylan, you had your hand up there for a second.
Yeah, I'd like to second Nate's motion.
Okay, all right, sounds like we have a motion and a second. Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah, I'm going to vote against this. I am disturbed when I go downtown and see the lack of discipline shown in people shopping, people in restaurants, and what have you. We're just be a complete disregard. I think the county's up to 42 cases now of the virus.
Legal counsel has told us we can't mandate this, and one way we can control it is not to allow these three events to happen. And I think this is a year where we probably should pass on it.
Okay, thank you, Lee. Jan Trax, you've got your hand up.
Yes, the rally in the alley, the original request says that it would be in the alley behind the 200 block, but I see that Justin is asking for it to be at 503 Broadway. So would that be amended then to show at 503 Broadway?
I think their office is located at 503 Broadway, and the rally in the alley is still at the 200 block.
No, it says it would be in the parking lot of 503 Broadway. His memo to us says that it would be in the parking lot of 503 Broadway, but his original special event request shows the alley behind 200. So what would we approve? The 503 Broadway?
I think staff missed it. Good catch on your end. I'm going to refer that to Lowell here for a second.
Well, it does specifically say 503 South Broadway. I guess if you're going to approve it, I would suggest you do it there for that parking lot. If that's not where it is, then we would bring it back at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Craney. Riley?
I was just going to say that I would have agreed with Lee on this, and I still kind of do to a point. Other than that, it looks like they have been consulting with our county public health department and taking their recommendations. So just that aspect of it makes me feel enough better about it. And so I guess I would maybe, I'm wondering, can we put a condition onto it that the county public health department continues to support it, or has the?
It sounds a little bit convoluted. I think we just need to either vote it up or down and take our druthers, to be honest with you. But I agree with you, Rylan, and I agree with you too, Lee. Actually, I agree on all aspects of this. We want events, but we want people to be safe too. So it's a touchy situation out there right now. I'm getting lots of pull in both directions. Mary, you've got your hand up.
I do, and something else, rally in the alley, the date of event is 5/15.
So I think what happened is that, this is Lowell, I think what happened is it sent in the memo and we went back and said we need the request as you had specific event requests. I think he prepared them much earlier this year and sent them in, and we just grabbed those, or he sent those to us. Maybe that's why they're not lining up with what his actual request came on.
Okay, and then one other comment, I like Rylan, kind of, you know, I'm all for promoting the downtown. I'm torn though, the same way with Lee. You know, with our numbers going up and everything's starting to look like it's starting to be a crisis again, I'm really concerned about, you know, looking as if the city is maybe not being responsible, although, like I said, I'm all for helping the downtown.
Yeah, I know, Mary. I know we're all facing this. I know I get it every day, and you know, I'm torn. I want events to happen. I want businesses to be open, and yet I know what's going on around the country. So I guess it'll have to depend on how you vote on this evening, and then we'll just take it from there. And if it falls, it falls. If not, you know, we'll deal with it. So with that, anybody else have anything else they want to comment on? Otherwise,
Mr. Mayor, looking back, the applications have a date of 3/3/2020. Yeah, so they came in a long time ago, back when we were still anticipating bringing 30 events to the council like we do every year. So now we we pulled those up out of what he had submitted, so I think that's why things aren't quite lining up. As his email from June 19th.
The location?
Correct, on the one it was in the alley behind 200 block, and again, they moved it to 503. Is what I would agree with Jane and her interpretation.
Perhaps there's more room in the 503 parking lot, maybe a better controlled space. Okay. All right, I think with that, then, I'm just gonna.
Roll call vote, please.
Excuse me. I think with that, then I think we're just gonna do a roll call vote, and, we'll see how it goes. So Kelly?
Luther,
Yes.
Traxler,
No.
Sutherland,
Yes.
Sweeney,
Yes.
Schwebbs,
Can't hear.
Schwebbs,
No.
Merrill,
Yes.
Solberg,
No.
Lee,
Yes.
Erdman,
No.
Sommerfeld,
Would fail. Okay, well, I guess, we'll vote no and it'll fail and we'll keep moving forward. So next, is the item, 6C, special event request from Dunn County Historical Society for the Blue Caps Vintage Baseball event to be held at Balin Park on August 1st, 2020. Anybody want to make a recommendation or what do you call it? Motion? Nate, go ahead.
Yes, I would like
Nate, you got your hand up. Go ahead, Chad. Or go ahead, Nate. Sorry.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to special event request for the Historical Society.
Okay, and Chad, you got your hand up.
I'll second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded. Discussion. Go ahead, Robin. Anybody want to talk about it, or are we good?
Really quick, yeah, I guess, sorry, it's hard to actually really see. But I do understand everyone's hesitation, with downtown. But I do think that, the baseball at Balin Park will be probably not popular. But I also think that it would be another good tool to get people, out and about, and it would be in a more controlled environment for those social distancing, practices.
Okay. Anybody want to form up a motion? Go ahead. Chad?
I
Okay.
just,
Go ahead, Chad.
has anybody on the council been to a Blue Caps event?
I have.
It just, to me, it seems like there's so few people there. I don't see I don't see a large crowd at these events. So in my opinion, should be a go, I guess.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor of said motion, signify by saying aye.
I.
And opposed?
Aye.
Okay, so far we have one opposed. Is that so far okay? Okay. Duly noted. And we're moving on. Review of the sewer utility 2019 compliance maintenance and report. Mr. Ideal, bring us up to speed on that one.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. So I brought the last page up on the screen. This is Paul Sturck and his crew's annual report. They got us to the DNR. And I think you can see on the screen there, we've got A's in all categories in the influent flow and loadings, quality, beauty, quality, both suspended solids, phosphorus, the biosolids quality, between operating certificate, financial management, and then the collection system maintenance. So they've been doing well for many years, Mr. Mayor, council members. This is a requirement for Paul and the wastewater treatment plant to submit this to the DNR every year. And it requires a resolution adoption by the council, and that's in your packet for you to act on if you wish. And if you have any questions, I'll attempt to answer.
No, that sounds good, Mr. Eddie. So, all A's, so that's a great report. So if anybody'd like to make a motion to adopt this resolution, go ahead and do so. Okay, Lee Schwebs, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion approving the report on the wastewater treatment plant's operation.
Okay, thank you. And is there a second to that motion? Okay, Rylan Erdman with a second. Go ahead, Rylan.
I'd like to second that.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of said resolution signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, thank you. Moving on to the proposed 333 ordinance amendment regarding the issuance of the operator license by the city clerk. There's a change in ordinance, and what that would require is the city clerk would be able to issue the operators licenses as long as there wasn't any flares from the police chief and city attorney. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What the mayor stated was correct. Wisconsin statute does allow a municipality to designate a municipal officer to issue the operator's licenses. In this case, it would be the city clerk. As the mayor stated, if there is a non-favorable recommendation from the police chief, the matter would be brought before council. The city clerk would only issue ones that have a favorable recommendation from the police department.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Goodman. Rylan, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just had a question about this. Wondering, you know, in the past few years, I don't recall us ever recommending to turn somebody's license down without there being police chief's input. Has that happened in the past 10, 15, 20 years where, you know, we've picked a name off the list and said, hey, this person is unfit to have their license? Has that ever been the case? Because
not that I can remember. I don't know, Callie, do you want to speak to that?
Not since I've been here, and it'll be almost 5 years. If they were on the list approved by the police chief, they went through, no problem. If he recommends denial, then we pull them out and let you guys discuss and talk to the person, and you make the final decision.
so in reality, not much will actually change other than we won't see a long list of names every year.
Correct.
Okay, so I open the floor for a motion. If anybody would like to make a motion?
Just one more comment. So don't we issue, what's the term we issue them, a temporary?
Yeah, so we had been doing, because sometimes when it falls for council, they could be waiting 2 weeks to get a license. They would pay extra for a provisional that I would issue that next day after the PD approved, and that was good for 60 days. So this kind of eliminates that portion. And
So it sounds like to me not a lot has changed. If there's anybody in question, it would still come back to the council. So does anybody want to make a motion subsequent? Oh, this is an ordinance. I'm sorry. We need somebody to introduce this as an ordinance.
I will. Yeah.
Luther with the introducing it, and we're gonna hyper screen your signature on this, so thank you.
Okay.
A motion to waive the first reading. Okay, Rylan Erdman with a motion to waive the first reading, Mary Solberg with a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? And then we need a motion to waive the second reading. Okay, Mary Solberg with a motion, Robin Sweeney with a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Then Jeff Luther, we need a motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to adopt said ordinance.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Luther. that motion? Okay, Mary Solberg with a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of said motion, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, thank you. Brings us down to budget transfers. There's a couple of budget transfers in there. I'll bring it over to Mr. Crane. Go ahead.
Let me get ready here. Randy can probably touch on, there was supposed to be two in the pack, but I think we only got one in there.
I can talk on the one.
Go ahead, you start that one out.
So the one that is in the council packet is focused on the leisure service center. The leisure service center, or the Shirley Doan Senior Center too. We've had Bartonville go through the facility. We've done some repairs and maintenance to it. We really, kind of wiped out that maintenance budget. Some of the repairs we felt were critical. And then there's been a couple others that have come in, and the pump replacement that Bartonville is asking for, or suggesting at $1,900 is something we feel needs to be acted on. This is a circulation pump that's circulating not only the warm water, but circulating the cool water. During the year, it's failed a couple of times, we kind of keep getting it running. And then we want to take another $2,000 to replenish the account. So the request is $4,000 out of contingency into the leisure service center building supplies and maintenance, with $1,900 of that replacing one of the circulating pumps. There was a compressor they said we should replace. We think we get by. So we're just bringing what we think is the most critical item.
And then we can wait till the next meeting too. There was another one, I think, it was supposed to be for a computer down there for Julie's computer. We were gonna do an internal transfer into a capital account of $1,000 out of vehicle repair and using the recreation vehicle, so we aren't really using any further than that vehicle accessing at the airport. So they were gonna do $1,000 internal transfer to cover the cost of the desktop computer at the leisure services center. I can give you the account number if you want to, and if you don't want to approve that, wait till it goes out the pack, 2 weeks. Well, I'm sure it's time sensitive, but.
It'll be time sensitive to somebody. Okay, so, those are the budget transfers. So anybody like to make a motion for one or both? We got it this time. Mary?
Do you want these as one or separately?
Separate, please.
Okay, I'd make a motion to award the expenditure for a circulation pump of $1,984 to Martingale for the leisure center.
Excuse me, but I think we put $4,000.
Yeah, so there's 1,900. The difference is replenishing the account, which has no money.
Right, I didn't know if you wanted it separately to be clear or all together.
That's all one.
Okay, then I'll make a motion to approve the budget transfer as requested.
Okay, thank you for $4,000. Is there a second to that motion? Okay, see, everybody's got their hand up. Robin Sweeney with a second. Any discussion? Yes, Lee.
Yeah, I have a question for Randy. Is that Clerk pump the variable speed drive on it?
It does not.
What's the horsepower?
I could not tell you.
That should be looked at. Those things pay for themselves in less than a year.
We can surely take a look at that with someone.
Okay, if you would.
Thank you for that, Lee. Good heads up on that one. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Roll call vote. Oh, okay, we'll roll call vote on this one. Go ahead, Kelly.
Drexler,
Yes.
Sutherland,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yeah.
Solberg,
Yes.
Lou,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
Sommerfeld,
Yes.
Luther,
Yes. Okay, thank you. That brings us down to the other, budget transfer, was looking for a computer. Lowell, thanks, go ahead, Lowell.
So if the council wants to consider it, it would be a transfer from recreation vehicle repair, which is 01521024 to a capital account 0155210714 computers, and that would be $1,000.
Thank you, Lowell. Is there anybody wants to make a motion? Lee Scruggs with a hand up.
And I'll make a motion to approve transfer.
Okay, thank you, Lee. Is there a second to that motion? Chad Slew with a second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Yeah.
Sweeney,
Yes.
Webs,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yeah.
Solberg,
Yes.
Lou,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
Sommerfeld,
Yes.
Luther,
Yes.
Heisler,
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Just really short for the mayor's report tonight. We did have a couple incidences, over the 4th of July, but, I don't think anything seriously occurred. We had somebody get backed over at the Burger King parking lot and, some minor fireworks injuries, but overall, my wife and I did take a tour around town. We looked at the park down by the beach. It was pretty scattered. We did take a look at other locations around town. Again, people were sitting in their little groups, I don't know, families or whatever. So it was pretty scattered. We found a really good spot to watch the fireworks. Mosquitoes were biting, so we sat in our car, near the, Frisbee Golf Course in, Con Park, and had a front row seat. So, that being said, we are watching, different things around the country, the protests and younger people getting coronavirus. And we're really keeping an eye on it. I know I get calls daily on both sides of the fence, people in pro and others. So, just hang on. Everybody, please be safe, and pass that along to everybody. So, Lowell, I think we've got any updates?
No, other than we did allow some of the fields to start being used under the guidance of Dunn County Health. So scrimmages of some games, limits of 50 people, etc., but no concession stands or no other ancillary businesses. And then just for the next meeting, just to head up a number of items, including zoning hearing for the Estover Terrace. So I'm guessing we're still going to be doing it in this style. We may be down in the new room for training tomorrow, so we'll see if Randy gets that, because I know Lowell will get it. So we do want to talk about solid waste / recycling and maybe becoming a responsible unit. We've got a aeronautics 6-year plan we're bringing back, and it's also that's going to be on that agenda as well. The airport to go. So be prepared for a longer meeting, obviously, in 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, here we all are. There's Ben. Terry. Mr. Idy. All right, anything else from council? Any communications? Oh, Mary, go ahead, please.
I think it might be wise. Are we able to fix the audio at all? It's been pretty choppy tonight.
I'll refer that to Mr. Idy.
Who are you having trouble hearing, Mary?
A few.
Nate's was very choppy because I think his reception was poor.
Lowell, I had a hard time hearing right now. It was kind of choppy. Am I the only one that was having those issues?
I think it happens when the mayor's turning the camera around. We need to probably, because
But is that the speaker?
but it's picking up on right by that.
Oh, this thing?
Yes. So can you pick it up? So, can you hear me?
Say what?
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Yeah, so I think it'll be better when we move downstairs.
Okay, because I have a feeling the next meeting, they're gonna want to be able to hear clearly. Or there'll be separate issues.
And if anybody has any questions or wants to talk about next week's meeting prior, I would advise you to call the administrator's office or talk to me. I know there's some, there's gonna be some differences of opinion on how we approach this. And that being said, we probably want to be on our A game come the next meeting. So I don't want to get into the weeds on it, but anybody? Mary, you still have your hand up?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, well, that's okay. I didn't know if it was your right hand or left hand, but. All right, well, we got through tonight's meeting okay. We don't have any closed session tonight. But we do have claims. So if anybody would like to pay the bills, we can make a motion to do so. No? Nobody wants to?
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Okay, Jeff, with a motion, is there a second to that motion? Okay.
I second.
Oh, sounds like Jan Traxler with a second.
Yeah.
Okay, roll call, please.
Sweeney,
Yes.
Swett,
Yes.
Merrill,
Yeah.
Goldberg,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
Summerfeld,
Yes.
Luther,
Yes.
Traxler,
Yes.
Sutherland,
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And licenses? We have no, what? No licenses? Wow, good job. Okay, so that wraps it up. We don't have a closed session this evening. If anybody'd like to make a motion to adjourn, that would do it.
All right.
Ryan, you got your hand up.
Yep, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, Ryland Erdman with a motion. Is there a second? Mary Silver with a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Good job, Ryland.
Hey, if anybody would like to get a hold of me, this next week or two, please give us a call. Things all over town, lots of good information, lots of good things happening. But sometimes it's easier just to talk and touch base. So, give myself or Lowell a call this week, and you guys all have a safe and prosperous week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reed.
Thank you. Good night.
Next meeting.